How do you fall at a step that's not there? Also, it's Update Monday! What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day is going phenomenal, but if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Speaking of such, it is Update Monday. It's been 11 months and 3 weeks of kicking rheumatoid arthritis' ass. We are so close, like, so close to getting to that 1 year mark. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Let me know, what do you think would be something special that we could do down below in the comment section, because I'm all out of ideas. Now that we are nearing a year, one thing that I do want to talk to you about is taking risk. I'm not talking about going out there and gambling it all on one thing. I'm talking about actually taking calculated risk. I was told that I shouldn't work out, shouldn't exercise, and shouldn't do anything. I should literally just take medicine, sit here, and not do anything. But now, almost 1 year later, here I am, as strong as I used to be, almost faster than what I used to be, but more importantly, I got longer hair than last year. That's a big accomplishment. Now, I'm not necessarily telling you to be rebellious. More often than not, you should listen to your doctors. I just so happen to have some doctor and nurse friends that told me otherwise. One thing I do want to talk to you about is that when you are proposed for a risk, life is all about risk if you want to get further. I have no idea where this saying comes from, but if you don't risk it, you don't get that biscuit. And boy, if you ain't about that biscuit, then you ain't getting no bread. What I want you to do is take that risk on that job opportunity, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then when you get comfortable with that, you get uncomfortable again. Put yourself in situations where you need to work your ass off to get better, because that's the only way to get better. I know for sure there is one thing that got me wanting to risk it all, and it's not gonna ruin any of my current relationships right now. It is these competitive rogue decks inside of this format. That's right, guys, these rogue decks have been bucking up to the meta. I genuinely think that if you're looking for another deck that has a unique playstyle, then these may be the strategies you look into. But without further ado, I'm not gonna waste your time anymore. Let's go ahead and jump on in so we could talk about the top rogue decks inside of this particular format. Let's jump on in. Now, in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, rogue can be defined by two categories, either very, very underplayed, or strategies that don't necessarily define the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta, but are really good in certain situations. Last week, I actually did a tier list ranking some of the most popular Yu-Gi-Oh! Strategies post-YCS Hartford, a very huge event. And if you want to see me do that about rogue tier lists, or if you want to see me make a board breaker tier list, go ahead and let me know down below in the comment section. You only get one, so either your team rogue tier list or team board breakers. I also want to mention that if you want to see early sneak peek deck profiles, then I've actually went ahead and put a lot of these profiles onto my Patreon, just as a special thanks for helping me pay my editors, because they're not getting cheaper. One thing I do want to tell you guys is that I have not forgotten my roots, or should I just say my foundation, as I still genuinely think that Earth Machine is one of the most powerful rogue strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I think one of the biggest knocks that I have to explain with Earth Machine is that it's not the best Therion deck. Therion King Regulus is amazing for Earth Machine because more often than not, 90 to 100% of the monsters you are playing are a machine. That means you can almost summon this bad puppy to your side of the field and equip a machine monster for free, providing you a free disruption or to allow you to combo off safely. But the big problem with that is that Therion King Regulus is the only Therion monster that can work with Earth Machines really well. But with that being said, Therion King Regulus does work with Earth Machine probably better than almost any other Yu-Gi-Oh! Strategy. Being able to equip a Machina Gear frame to your Therion King Regulus not only gives you the ability to negate an opponent's effect, but also since Machina Gear frame is a union monster, you can unequip it and special summon it to your side of the field as a free extender. The biggest draw that I want to point out to you for the Earth Machine strategy, if you're trying to dig into this deck, is that it plays some of the strongest floodgates in Yu-Gi-Oh! Skill Drain has been known as the bane of players' existence. I hate Skill Drain! And if a lot of the top strategies don't have a way to be able to destroy this card, they simply lose the game. There's also cards like Rival of the Warlord and Gozen Match. Sometimes one is not effective as the other, but when you play them both in conjunction, you almost guarantee that your opponent isn't doing anything. This is something that Earth Machine can play. Earth Machine is no slouch on its own either. It's a continuous engine that allows you to recycle your cards and excavate into the next option, like being able to special summon Machina Citadel back to your side of the field every single time one of your Earth Machine monsters are destroyed, and then it can destroy your monsters to destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Do you guys not like Raigeki? Earth Machine is easily one of the best rogue strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you have Therion King Reguluses already, then the strategy is extremely cheap too. I actually wanted to include it in my top 5 competitive budget decks, as you don't necessarily need the Regulus, the deck was doing fine without it, but I don't want to put multiple strategies in different videos, as I want you to get as much variety and choices as possible. Croaking, mate! Did regular old Cali talk about variety? Well, some of y'all may know me as Outback Cali. Other y'all know me as Dino Cali. Some of y'all know me as a BBW Cali. But today, we talking about another amazing rogue deck that I've been hunting in Sharks. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, because of legendary duels from the deep, the new Shark strategy got some new toys to play with. One thing I really want to point that's going to completely morph the Shark deck is the new Abyss Shark monster. Not only can this behemoth summon itself to the side of the field mate by controlling a water monster, it also allows you to search a level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand. And just when you thought that it didn't get worse, when you attack with a number monster during that battle phase, the damage is double. You could almost say one of my nickname Khaled Down Under is about to send ya down under. And just when you thought that the obstacle of it being a level 5 monster would be a problem, this card can be used as a level 3, 4, or 5 monster when you are Exceed summoned into a number monster. So I know that the card pool is limited, but there's actually some really good number Exceed monsters like the Kragan, mate. This card literally is what makes the deck. I know regular old Cali was talking about how Gozen Match and Rivalry are probably best paired together because sometimes you go against a deck that can play around it. Not in this deck, as Kragan actually makes all your opponent's monsters water, meaning that they can't summon another monster to their side of the field unless it's water. I think I borrowed this line from Cali to Dime, but if you don't want to sleep with the fishies, then Sharks may be who you want to swim with. Also, mate, if you want to see a live duel with Sharks against the top meta deck, then go ahead and bug the living daylights out of normal Cali in the comment section. Thank you, Outback Cali, who has probably made my job significantly harder. But if there is another strategy that I want to talk to you about that's actually really good in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta right now, is Salamangreat. Now, I genuinely wanted to put Marine sets in this particular category because of the Legendary Duels deep set. It does get some more support, but I'm not necessarily seeing how it's better than Salamangreat right now. Am I biased? I might be biased. Regardless, we have been seeing Salamangreat on the come up. That third copy of Salamangreat Circle has helped the deck tremendously, but let's talk about why this deck is just so powerful. The first reason why Salamangreat is just so good is because it can literally OTK your opponent with just one card. Lady Debug by itself allows you to make an access code talker that is 5300 attack, but if you want to take it a step further, if you have an additional extender, or more than likely any 2 Salamangreat cards, because they're all extenders pretty much, you can make an access code talker with 5300 attack that can attack twice for 10,600 damage. The next most amazing thing about Salamangreat is that you have a lot of room for hand traps. And I mean hand traps on hand traps on hand traps. Just throw hand traps at your opponent, guys. One day they're gonna stick and your opponent's gonna have to pass their turn. Because of this, Salamangreats are extremely versatile at being able to adapt on whatever situation it's in. All you have to do is just main board the appropriate hand traps to slow your opponent down, make the access code talker, and then OTK from there. Salamangreat is one of those strategies that's like fine wine. It only gets better with time. And again, if you want to see a Salamangreat deck profile, I have put one up from my Patreon. Helps me pay my editors. So, Outback Cali is talking about being versatile. I resent that. Mainly because not only do you know me as Cali the Don, how's Squamata doing? You know I'm always looking out for the little man who flew under Reese. This time around I'm looking out for you again, because I want to talk to you about one of the best rogue strategies that's ridiculously underrated. Players thought that with the banning of Predaplat Vert and Anaconda, that Phantom Knights have fallen completely off the map. You're joking me, right? Like you're pulling my leg. The Phantom Knight strategy never needed Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. In actuality, Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer needed the Phantom Knight strategy. Not only can this deck combo like all hell, Rusty Bardish is a very formidable card, allowing you to destroy cards on the field anytime an Exceed monster is summoned, meaning that monsters like Breaksword can not only break your opponent's board, by destroying a card, Rusty allows you to destroy even further. Phantom Knight's Fog Blade still negates monsters on the field. Last time I checked, we love negating monsters on the field. What happened? It also is a Monster Reborn and a trap card. So summon a Breaksword under a Rusty Bardish allows you to trigger the destruct. This deck can still make Artifact Scythe, can it? And it can still summon it on your opponent's turn. Even if your opponent can play around the artifact luck, Phantom Knights are a better grind deck anyways. It plays some of the best Exceed monsters in the game and is really good at breaking boards and extending even further. You young guns are genuinely sleeping on Phantom Knights if you don't think that it's an amazing rogue deck this format. Also, I heard the shit that King Kelly was talking about. It's alright, I'm trying to f his wife, so it'll probably pan out. That's an interesting clapback, Cali the Don, and I am going to stay out of this. But the last strategy I want to talk to you about is one thing that you should not stay out of. If you actually want to take the time to learn this strategy, then Pendulum really is a top rogue deck. I mean, it's almost disgraceful to put Pendulum this much lower because the strategy is actually really good. The drawback to Pendulum is that you have to invest a lot of resources into it and a lot of time, but if you're willing, it's easily a lot better deck than what its status currently says. The new Beyond the Pendulum monster gave the strategy so much more consistency, and if we're gonna have to talk about a particular Pendulum, because Pendulum isn't an archetype, it's a mechanic, I would have to strongly suggest the Pendulum Magician route, as being able to destroy your double Iris Magician gets you so much advantage. It actually can search some of the best cards for the Pendulum strategy in Time and Space Pendulum Graph. Now I'm not sure which one's the trap card, but the trap card is ridiculous. It destroys 2 cards on the field, 1 card on your side of the field, 1 card on your opponent, and then if you don't destroy your card, it sends another card to their graveyard non-targeting. Bro, that's busted. The Pendulum Magician strategy can also make some ridiculously crazy boards. Baron de Flor and Appaloosa are just icing on the cake. But the best thing about this deck is that it can actually make the artifact Scythe lock by using Hockley Fibrix to be able to summon TG Wonder Magician, destroy your Scythe, summon it to the side of the field, and then you can synchro for another 10 if you haven't already made Baron de Flor, or if you've already made Baron de Flor. Pendulum Magician is an extremely rewarding strategy if you decide to go that route, being able to combo off into some of the best monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! And always finding a way to come back even from what it seems like 100% guaranteed defeat. And that is all that I have for the top rogue decks for this format. I want to know, is there a rogue deck that I missed? I think that Marine Cess is pretty cool. Also think that Unchained could be considered rogue and is definitely an amazing strategy. But I want you to post down below in the comment section what are some other strategies that you think that I missed and why do you think they're so powerful. Also, if you want to see more amazing content, go ahead and check out these videos. And if you want to see Master Duel content, check out Master Duel Cali, as I'll catch you on the next video.